So welcome everybody to clearing presumptions around spirits. Sorry, my name is Julie Tooten. I'm sure most of you know me. If you don't, I'm a certified facilitator and of access consciousness, and it's been 20 years. Yes, 20, the big 2-0. And way back when I first was exposed to access consciousness, Shannon O'Hara was, I don't know, maybe in her early 20s. And she was just starting to share some of the tools of Talk to the Entities before it was even created as a specialty. And for me, it was something that really interested me. I've always been curious about spirits, telepathy, communication, talking to plants, the earth, your keys, your house, your car, things like that. And being able to perceive the response, which is part of Talk to the Entities. A lot of times people think of Talk to the Entities as, your dead grandparents or something like that. But the entity kingdom is very vast, just as vast as the physical kingdom here, from microorganisms all the way up to, all the animals and all of that. So it's interesting where we have a whole lot of presumptions, a whole lot of beliefs that keep us from even approaching the subject of entities and spirits. And so today, I thought we'd just do a basic beginning clearing of some of those presumptions so that you can have a little bit more ease, so you can maybe dip your toe in the water of possibilities of communicating and clearing and receiving from entities if you desire. So does anybody have any questions to start with? And you can feel free to unmute yourself. No. So maybe raise your hands. Who's afraid of ghosts? Anybody afraid of ghosts? No, nobody's afraid of ghosts. What about the really, really creepy ones? Yeah, the really, really creepy ones. Okay. So I'm going to use the access consciousness clearing statement. If any of you don't know the access consciousness clearing statement, you can go to theclearingstatement.com, or you can go to my YouTube channel and there's explanations there. But the, sorry, one second. Just change my view so I can see everybody. Okay, so everywhere we've decided that we're not afraid of friendly ghosts, but we are afraid of the really creepy ghosts. All of those presumptions, all of the need for reaction and the need of reactive realities, the Norse slime, and the rest of the big five, holding all of that in place. Will you destroy and uncreate it? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys, povads, and beyonds. Oh, yeah. It's almost like when you think about doing something, there's all of this angst and all of this presumption, really, about what it's going to mean and what it's going to be like and what it's going to look like and all of this. But when you actually go to do the thing, it's like, oh, wow, that was easy. because all of those presumptions don't necessarily mean anything. They're just thoughts that we create. So all of the presumptions that we have about what it's going to be like to perceive spirits, will you destroy and uncreate it? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys, povads, and meons. Wow. And did you like that was a huge amount of energy that started to move with that one. So even just what it would be like to perceive spirits, we have a whole lot of points of view about. And if we didn't have those points of view, it might just be like, hi, you know, hi, how are you? What's up? So let's run that again. All of the presumptions that you have about what it's going to be like to perceive spirits and all the big five, will you destroy and uncreate it? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys, povads, and meons. Oh, that's a lot lighter. Cool. So what's the next thing that comes up? You perceive them, maybe you like, what's like your number one big fear about entities? Is it seeing them? Is it hearing them?
I would say it's not a fear, but for me, it's not always trusting that I'm actually able to perceive them. Like
Mm,
there are times where I have, but it's not like on demand, and um yeah, and it's just not consistent enough. So sometimes I feel like, did I really see what I thought I saw or feel? Because normally it's a feeling, but every now and then it'll be like a vision, but then I don't even know if it's a real. So then I don't, you know.
yeah. So let's attack the doubt a little bit. So everything that you perceive with entities is this light, wispy thing that you think you're making up, which you are not. You are never making it up, because you wouldn't just make it up. Notice how it doesn't come up unless it comes up. And when it comes up, it's true. So all of the doubt that you have, all of the distractor implant of doubt that keeps you from truly knowing that this is your awareness, will you revoke, recant, rescind, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy, and uncreate it all?
Yes.
Times a godzillion, right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys, povads, and beyonds. Ooh, yeah. It's funny, I have there's a backyard out here and my garage, and sometimes when I'm leaving the garage, the door doesn't close all the way, and so it's just left open. I'm like, whatever, door can be open, it's fine, it airs out the garage. Well, every once in a while, I'll just be working here at my desk and I'll look out there and it's like there's this sense of there's a person. And I don't have that sense all the time, but I do have it occasionally. And when I do, it's like, oh, who are you? I just ask in my head, who are you? And usually it's nothing, or it goes away or whatever. It's sort of like when you walk by somebody on the street and you say, hi, just acknowledging them. Like, you don't necessarily have to know them. You don't have to have this deep conversation. It doesn't have to be anything significant. It's just like they're walking by on the street and you say hi. But you wouldn't walk by somebody on the street and say, well, that's not really a person, because they're there.
Yeah.
Because they don't have a body, they're still there energetically, we perceive it. And so to not undermine your knowing, to acknowledge what you're aware of and just let it be, is going to build the muscle of being able to go a little bit further and maybe communicate or clear or receive from or cooperate with. These are the 4 different things that you do with entities. It's really actually quite practical and simple, like all of the access tools. We just make it complicated and hard, and we doubt ourselves, and we're just cute. It's a
Um,
good thing you're cute. Carrie always says it's a good thing you're cute because you're not that bright. So to build your muscle of awareness, it just takes acknowledging. What am I aware of? Is this an entity? Yes, no. Do they require anything? Yes, no. A lot of times it has nothing to do with you, and it's not anything you need to deal with. It's just acknowledging. How does it get easier than that? So all the presumptions that you have around if you perceive an entity, you must do something with it. It's like a burden for you, or a job or something. Will you destroy and uncreate all of that? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all 9 shorts, boys, poveds, and beyonds. If you apply the 10 commandments to the world of entities, it gives you the freedom, just like it does in this reality world. Don't make it significant. Don't live in an answer, live in the question. And if you're an infinite being, what would you choose? All of these are applicable to the entity world as well, and it gives you ease and peace and freedom with whatever you're aware of. What other issues or presumptions come up when you hear the word entity, spirit, ghost? Feel free to unmute. Or does it make you just want to disappear? So everything this brings up, times a godzillion, will you destroy and uncreate it? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all 9 shorts, boys, povads, and beyonds. It's been so long using these tools that I don't really know what your presumptions are. I'm trying to pull them out of your heads, but it would be really helpful if you had anything, if you could verbalize it, so that we could give everybody a little bit more freedom.
I would say another presumption I have is I guess the fear of the judgment, like, because I did take the entities classes, I think up into intermediate, so I have an alarm that goes off at 11:30 every evening for my entity business hours or office hours.
Wow, you
But
do that at night?
yeah,
Good
because I'm
for
usually
you.
up. Yeah, I'm usually up later, and that's when like no one. I get a little bit more of that private time where I can have more quiet. Um, but but sometimes if I'm out, it'll go off and people will see it, and they're like, "Oh, what's that?" So then I'm like, "Oh," then I go into this like wanting to hide because I don't want them to think I'm weird, or to be scared of me because I claim to talk to entities or whatever. So
Girl, you
like,
could be using that to your advantage.
well, I
Make them
so
scared of you instead of you being afraid that they're going to think you're something.
True, I guess I could have thought that. But and the thing that comes up though too is then if they do ask again, I just doubt my capacity with
Mm,
entities. So
wow. So tap into that doubt of capacity energy. Is that really yours?
I get no.
So everywhere you're buying that is yours when it's not, will you destroy and uncreate it?
Yes.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys, povads, and beyonds. I wonder what that actually is. Like, are you more in the future and in their reality and perceiving their doubt of the ability before you even talk about it?
Mm. Oh, yeah.
So, wow, that's a cool capacity.
Interesting.
What if we're way, 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 way more capable than we've ever imagined? Yeah. So all of our presumptions that we're the redheaded stepchild or whatever that Dane says all the time, rather than the capable one, let's destroy and uncreate that, please. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys, povads, and beyonds. The thing with entities and our abilities is it's like all these other tools. You need to use them and practice and play with them, and it's like going to the gym and working out. You can't just go to the gym once and expect to be able to climb Mount Everest. You just can't. Darn it. So, you have to keep moving, keep using it, keep playing with it. So, people talk about taking the Talk to the Entities class once or the foundation class once. Well, that's awesome, but it's like doing a big workout once. If you don't keep doing incremental steps and movement and exercising of these muscles, it's not going to grow. It's not going to become easier. And we might go, well, yeah, oh yeah, I know that tool, but do you use it? And hey, I've been doing this for 20 years. I do not claim to have, worked out every single day either. It's not required really to work out every single day, but the more you do it, the more you repeat, the easier it becomes. And the more you step into this depth and breadth of your capacities without making it significant. I mean, it takes years to just start clearing the judgment off of ourselves and the presumptions of ourselves off of ourselves to be able to build those capacities. So everywhere we think it's just about taking the class once and now I have the tools and that's all I need to do and I should have it by now. And if I don't, then I'm wrong. Let's destroy and uncreate all of that, please. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys, povads, and beyonds. There's such a gift in repeating this stuff. This is why Gary made it half price for a repeat, because each time you listen, each time you submerge yourself in the energy of a weekend workshop, it changes all kinds of things that you weren't aware of were there before. And what a gift that is, that it can change things that you weren't aware of. Wouldn't it be nice, though, that to be aware of all the things that you're aware of in other people? Like, oh, them, that's easy. Me, I can't see any of my stuff. But that's what awareness is. So all of our presumptions around that, whatever that is. Let's destroy and uncreate it. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine, shorts, boys, poads, and beyonds. And you don't need to ever take another access class if you don't want to. It's just when you get that ping of like, wow, I'd like to know more about this, or wow, that is calling my attention. What if that is your awareness showing you that there's something for you in that? And what if you were willing to follow your own awareness about it? So all the presumptions around how you maybe don't want to repeat, don't want to do it again, don't want to waste money, don't want to make the wrong choice. Will you destroy and uncreate all of that? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine, shorts, boys, poads, and beyonds. There's also an amazing gift in listening to different facilitators about the same subject. So if you listen to lots of different people about talk to the entities, you'll get different awarenesses. It'll open up your capacities because each person is coming from a different point of view. And each person has their own vibration with the tools and the body of work. And there'll be some people that you can really learn from, and there'll be other people that's like fingernails on the chalkboard. So follow your awareness. Everywhere you haven't been willing to totally trust you, all of those presumptions, will you destroy and uncreate it? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine, shorts, boys, poads, and beyonds. Okay, so what else is there around entities? Presumptions and entities. Anybody else have anything? Yeah.
So I've taken the beginning class too for the talk to the entities twice. And then like whenever I'm aware of like entities around me, I start using the tools and start asking questions like, do I know this person? Or are you here to talk to me or somebody else? And then I start to get confused and it's like, is this a gift? If it is a gift, like, is it okay to receive it? You know, like all this stupid presumptive things coming up. And then I get like, I don't know. So
Well,
what can I do about that?
How long ago did you take your most recent?
Wow. Like 2 years ago.
Okay, was there must have been the flow chart?
Yes.
So I took a photo of the flow chart and I have it on my phone and I use it all the time. So using the flow chart makes it really easy because you don't have to think about the questions. You just look at them. And like when you ask questions, it's not about trying to figure it out. It's going with the energy of it. So just really quickly get your first response before your brain kicks in and go with that. And what if it wasn't significant? And what if you couldn't get it wrong and you couldn't get it right? So everything that is, all the presumptions, all the big five that kicks in as soon as you start engaging with this, will you destroy and uncreate it? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine, shorts, boys, poads, and beyonds. And everything that you've made significant about receiving from entities, what that means, what you have to do with it, instead of just allowing it to be like the wind blowing through a screen door. Will you destroy and uncreate it? right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys, poveds, and beyonds. Wow, yeah. So how many presumptions do you have about receiving from entities? Wow. And all of those will you destroy and create? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys, poveds, and beyonds. Yeah. And like, I don't know who you took your Talk to the Entities class from. Maybe it was Shannon, but each person brings a certain energy with it. And depending on where we're coming from and how many points of view we have about it, we'll hear like, that's much. So maybe get out those recordings and listen again. Yeah. Or choose more. Just choose more.
Okay.
Because it's a huge gift to our ability to receive, which is one of the four elements of us as infinite beings, to receive. And I've found that Talk to the Entities is one of the best workout gyms for receiving, because entities, they're not of this reality. And so you can't use the normal way of communicating and stuff. You have to use your perception and your receiving, and like it just builds those muscles like nothing else. So everything this is bringing up, let's destroy and uncreate it. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys, poveds, and beyonds. Yeah, wow, there's a lot there.
What about like when you ask a question and you start engaging with like entity awareness and you don't get like a clear, like you can't really get a clear answer or like what they're asking?
It could be that they're not clear.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. So sometimes people have left their bodies on drugs and stuff. And so when they're an entity, they're not going to be clear. So there's things that you can do to dissipate the drugs and alcohol that is in their system. And that may take like a month or so. And then it'll become clear. But isn't it interesting that we think we're not clear when we're not getting the message? So all of the presumptions around that, where it's something wrong with you because you're not getting it clearly, rather than they're not clear about what they're trying to get across. Will you destroy and uncreate it? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys, poveds, and beyonds. Yeah. And as well, there's becoming aware of you, the entity, your energy that you get to perceive, know, receive, and be. And everything that brings up, and all the presumptions you have about who you are, what you are, where you are, when you are, why you are, and not. Will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys, poveds, and beyonds. Is everybody getting sleepy? That was a really interesting energy. Whoa. Yeah, because we're entities too. And so is this piece of crystal. Like everything is an entity. Everything has consciousness. So all the presumptions we have around what is an entity, what isn't an entity, let's destroy and uncreate that. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys, poads, and beyonds. What else is coming up for you? Maybe we're done. Well, this was going to be a quickie anyway. This weekend, I do have a beginning Talk to the Entities class, and there's an intro online on Friday night that anybody can join if you like. And the beginning class is in person, so fly on over to San Francisco. Going to be fun, and the weather's been absolutely gorgeous. Today is going to be in the 80s, I think. Anyway, thank you for listening now, and for those of you who couldn't make it on the call live, I hope I touched on all those presumptive realities that you have that are hindering your ability to go a little deeper into this subject. And keep choosing, please. Keep choosing, keep choosing. Anything else? Any last requests? All right. Well, thank you for joining. Have a great rest of your week. Bye, everybody.